Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thanks for stopping by and finally getting to sit down. We have been going all the way on full throttle for the last, couple weeks?
At least.
And vacations happened. We'll get to it in a minute, but what you saw in the thumbnail, that strange thing in the sky, that's all I got to say about it right now.
UFO, what was it?
Yeah, what was it? That happened. But that happened after we got back from vacation. So let's start off on catching up. Did you have a good vacation?
Yes.
Did you come home rested?
No.
Why not?
Because it was go, go, go. But I didn't come home like, exhausted. That was a terrible trip. I had a lot of fun. I mean, it wasn't any more tired than I am regularly because we're always doing stuff. So
Yeah. So at our kids' age, 5, 8, and 10, we feel like a vacation should not just be sitting around on a beach for 12 or 14 hours a day. It should be going and exploring, seeing new states, seeing national monuments like we saw at the Arch, seeing major attractions and opportunities to learn like we saw at the Arc, having fun at the theme park that we went to, and also a little relaxing at the beach, but also swimming, playing in the pool, and that kind of thing. So probably for the next few years for Cassie and I, a relaxing vacation is going to be when Cassie and I get away.
which isn't very often.
But hey, guess what? We just celebrated our 14th anniversary. Some of you guys may saw it on social media, and thank you guys for the anniversary well wishes. We appreciate it. But we have been married 14 years to this beautiful lady right here.
We have been married to
I have been married to this beautiful lady. And we celebrated 14 years of marriage by, what'd you say I did? Fix the tractor. And
we raised kids and moved animals, and I took Ranger to a practice, and what did we eat that day? I don't even think it was anything special.
No, probably not. But 15 years is next year. I think this is one of those milestone years.
10 was supposed to be milestone, and then that didn't happen.
10, 15, 20. So we need some ideas. We need Cassie and I trip alone.
Well, 10 year we were supposed to go on an Alaskan cruise, but we ended up getting ransom and stuff, and he was young, so we didn't feel like it was right for us to leave for 7 days.
We didn't get away then.
So I don't know. We've been to Alaska, but Alaskan cruise sounds pretty amazing. But what do you guys think? What is something that we should do? Whether it takes 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, 2 weeks. I mean,
probably not 2 weeks. Like probably a 3
to 5 days.
to 5 day time frame. So it could maybe be a quick cruise, like a 3 day or a 5 day cruise.
I haven't had cruise pizza and ice cream in a while.
Or we could go on just fly into some place like Alaska.
I don't want to drive.
Again. Cassie wants to fly. She has had enough of the car for this week.
Just when we go on vacations with the kids, we're going to be doing a lot of driving 90% of the time. So when Gary and I go, I'd rather either somewhere close or fly.
Not a long drive.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's our minimum requirements.
We're not picky at all.
Picky. So I want to start planning that though, because if we are going to fly, the time to book is like in a month or two. Because if you book,
it's really hard to know what we're going to be doing that far in advance.
Yeah, but we know the dates. That's the key. So we know the dates, and we can pick the location, and then we can book our flights if we need flights because they're cheaper now.
I'm kind of a last minute person.
I'm not. I want to plan. Obviously, you saw that.
You guys should all know. I mentioned it time to time, but Gary planned that entire vacation. He is really good at planning that stuff out, looking at the map, finding places. Probably because he has more free time than I do.
I don't think so.
But he's really good at that. So
I made it a priority.
So he always plans our trips like that. He'll send me stuff like, what do you think about this? Or see if you can find something in this town or whatever. But he always finds better stuff. So that was all Gary. He's very good. He's going to be a travel agent one day. I could
be a travel agent. I book it because if I don't book the stuff, then I don't like not knowing what we're going to do that day.
Funny.
At least one thing.
It's funny because I want like an itinerary of the day. Like I prefer that. Like what are we doing? What's the plan? But I'd rather him plan it.
Let's go back to Alaska if it's up to me.
I would all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, So we're gonna plan something though, because 15 years is a big deal. We need to celebrate our marriage.
I mean, I don't have any. I got real thin hair, but I don't have any gray hair yet, so it's been pretty good.
I got a little bit gray.
Actually, I pulled one out a couple weeks ago.
That's all right. That means you have wisdom.
Oh.
Yeah, gray means.
Dang, I'm really dumb.
Gray means wisdom. I have more wisdom than you, apparently. So we did have a great vacation. I'm glad to be home. We have been going busy on the homestead. We had that brand new calf born, so we have that kind of taken care of. We have her in her own little pen. The calf is doing great. We're turning a mister on every day around 10 o'clock and turning it off every day around 4 or 5, sometimes 6 o'clock, just to make sure she stays.
I feel like going out there and laying with her under that mister.
Yeah, she enjoys laying under that mister. Like
does.
her hair kind of gets this kind of like frost. And the calf doesn't always stay under it, which is probably fine. It comes and goes as it wants.
Yeah.
But the cow Charlie, and if you missed it on Walker Farm Fam, we named the calf Missy, or Mississippi, M-I-S-S-I, Missy, because...
Wait, we call it's M-I-S-S-I, it's not M-I-S-S-Y?
No.
Oh, geez.
No, because it's named after Mississippi. I think her real name's Mississippi, but we're going to call her Missy.
Oh, okay.
Because whenever we were at the Max in Mississippi is when we learned about this calf. And so, what better name than Missy? M-I-S-S-I.
And Misty from the Max said it should be Missy, so...
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. So after we were finally getting everything squared away, like I said, on the homestead, we kind of got cattle settled, the garden worked out, we tilled the weeds up and that kind of thing. Everything was going good the other night. Until we were sitting there, we put the kids in bed, and all of a sudden, our electric started going like, do-do-do-do-do-do.
I'd never seen it like that. Sometimes it'll go off and then pop back on, but this was like...
Yeah, so it was like going half power, full power.
Our
half power,
appliances would
power.
like ding-oh, ding-oh, ding-oh.
Which is horrible for our appliances. Like, they don't need to be doing that. So my first thought is, we have a problem. We have like a major issue with our electrical feed coming into the house. A squirrel has chewed through it or something. Like this is our power. Our power goes underground. But like something has got in there and has ate through our wire because our house is just off and on. And so
we were afraid all the kids were going to wake up because appliances were going.
Yeah, you don't realize how many electronics you really have, like phones or iPods or iPads, TVs, charging
stuff. Charging was like.
Yeah. We had our power station hooked up from our trip. It was charging, so every single thing that Charles Power was, and so it was making some weird noises. So I went outside because I thought, well, if our power is going off and on, and it's the power company, then our neighbor's power has to be doing the same thing. And so I went outside, I looked across the road, and sure enough, the big pole light out there was doing this. And so I walked to the front of the house, and this is what I saw up in the sky. I'll show you guys real quick. So the electric was off at that point. When that video ended, the light in the sky completely stopped. But you could see that bright red light in the direction that was facing. This isn't like a major city. So I know some of you guys are like, oh, that was probably just the lights at the football stadium. Yeah. Or, something like that.
It wasn't even towards the town, though.
No, it was away from the town. It was in the middle of nowhere. And you had these super bright lights just emitting tons of light up in the sky. And I thought, that's really weird. I told Cassie, it must be a transformer or something like that. Well, we found out that I think it went off about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it came back on at 1:30.
Yeah, they said it was going to be around 4 when it came
Which
up.
I ran and got the power bank. Praise Jesus, we have one of those, and plugged in my incubator. Because last time the power went out, the incubator was off for a few hours, and I thought it would be fine because, you know, mamas get off their nest and things, but they must have got too cold in our house, and the goose eggs
Didn't survive.
didn't make it. So I immediately went and plugged in the incubator because I have Mississippi eggs, the max eggs in there, and I was like, no way, this ain't happening.
Not going to happen again.
Not today.
So we figured out though, either through communication with somebody else at church, I think it was that night, they told us.
Well, I got on Facebook real quick because on the local town Facebook crier thing.
And other people were out.
They hadn't yet. No one had said anything. And I was like, well, that's weird. Because usually it's like, and it took a little bit and then people started talking about it. So
Yeah, but I found out later that night at church that trees had fallen on the line, and that's what was causing the
which
power
was weird because
to
there
go
wasn't
in or out.
any high wind or anything.
Not really, like 10 or 12 miles an hour, nothing major. But that's what they said was maybe somebody hit a tree. I don't know.
Or like a slow fall in the storm that messed it up, but it slow. It took a while.
Shifted afterwards. I don't know, but so what I am guessing is with that picture that you guys seen and that video I showed you was the trees down on the line, and then that line was just continuously arcing. Because it was grounding out, and so every time it grounded out, it was sending that huge light up into the air. So that's what I'm guessing that light was.
I wouldn't want to be right next to it.
No, that you'd be dead. I mean, well, I don't know how far that shock would carry, but yeah, it was making a pretty sure. If you would have been in front of it, it would have been like the 4th of July fireworks. It would have been awesome, because it was awesome from at least that was probably 3 miles away from what you guys saw, because it happened way over past Sam's Corner where you go towards Lowwater Dam. So that's where that was at, about 3 miles from our house at least, as the crow flies. So that would have been a pretty awesome thing to see in person if that was it. Maybe it was something else.
Oh, jeez.
People are talking about the government doing these blackouts. I've heard that one, but I've also heard something. I don't watch the news, or I don't follow a lot of this online. I've heard about aliens lately, Cassie.
All these things make my eyes roll because y'all spend too much time on this and stress out way too much about it.
Aliens. It could have been.
I bet it was a bunch of aliens. They landed their ship right on that thing. Is it a ship? Spaceship?
Whatever they're flying these days. You know, they're probably all electric. Probably got those rechargeable EVs. I don't know. They look like spaceships. But I'm guessing my like, if I had to place a bet, like, I'm not going to bet the farm on it, but I'm pretty good amount that it was a tree on the lines, and that's what that video was. But what do you guys think?
I think I'd go with that.
You saw the video. Tell us what you think. Cassie's probably mad at me right now just for even bringing up the aliens. I don't know. Are you mad at me?
No, but these people are going to lose it in the comments.
Do you forgive me?
Yeah.
All right.
Always.
Already forgiven. That didn't last long. It's a lot easier to get forgiveness than permission, Cassie.
And I can't smack you on camera.
Well, you could. The camera goes off real quick. You guys know. Watch out.
I have a question for you.
Okay, I've got an answer.
What is
I gotta
the
take a drink first.
oldest shirt that you own that you still wear?
Well, it's not this Keeping It Dutch shirt right here. This is a pretty new shirt. The oldest shirt that I own that I still wear, like on a daily basis, or like in my rotation.
In your rotation.
Do you know?
Do you know? Have a church league champ shirt from 2008. I don't know if you guys can see that. It used to say Women's League, but that paint's all gone.
Okay, so that's our anniversary shirt. It's the year we got married.
Oh, that's funny.
14 years ago, Cassie was the champion
Church League
of the Church League softball, and she took it pretty serious. Were you the coach too?
I was the coach, but I did not take it very serious. I only got irritated when people acted like we were playing for the World Series.
What position did you play?
usually Rover.
You want to recap the championship game or anything while we're here?
You think I remember from
I'm sure you probably do.
Anyway, what's the oldest shirt you have that you still wear? Because if it doesn't have a date on it, you might not know, but 2008. Gildan doesn't make them like they used to.
So I will say about 2 or 3 years ago, I cleaned out my big shirt drawer.
I did too, but I kept this one.
Well, I had...
Because shirt champs.
I had a shirt from when I ran the Route 66 Marathon in 2006.
But did you get rid of it?
And I got rid of it.
Oh, that's real sad.
So that was my oldest shirt. It was 06. I would have had you beat. But I cleaned house. I got rid of it because I got
rid of new shirts and kept this one.
This shirt is like 15 years old. It's out the door.
Well, I was going to say, you know how people like strip their laundry? They put them in the bathtub with all that stuff and stuff comes out of it? Might not want to see what this shirt does.
Probably not. Yeah. So yeah, what's your oldest article of clothing? Is that what we were going with?
Yeah.
Oldest shirt.
I just thought it was funny
jacket.
when I put it on. I was like, dang, Cassie, 2008?
Yeah, that's old. That's back there.
But that's funny. That was the same year we got married, and now I remember I missed a game because of our honeymoon.
Oh, how sad. You holding it against me? So moving on, as far as catching up with the walkers and what's coming up. So what's going to be coming up over on Walker Farm Fam is we have hay to put up. We had our hay baled. The Amish came over from Shoto, Oklahoma. They didn't ride their horse and buggies. They drove their John Deeres this time.
You know what's funny? It took 2 or 3 Amish videos for people to not lose their minds in the comments. Maybe we just got better subscribers and viewers now. But the comments have been much better this time. Last time, people were like, those aren't Amish. They ain't. You go tell them. I mean, I'm not going to tell them.
We didn't put Amish like 3 foot tall on the thumbnail either. So maybe that's part of it. We'll try that though. We'll change it out.
Well, I think we kind of explained the Amish around here. Maybe that helped,
and we did explain it. Or maybe these people were just maybe
they understand.
No, maybe we've outlasted them. They like this is the 3rd or 4th video. They're like, those walkers are crazy. I'm not going to go over there and try to convince them what an Amish is. I've already told them 4 times. Maybe I think we've worn them down. And guess what? They're coming back in this fall to bell again. So we're going to keep wearing you down. If you think that you can convince us that our Amish aren't Amish, you're way off base. So I've got hay to put up. How many bells?
35.
35 bells. So we did not get as much hay as we normally do. We did not fertilize this year or last year. Part of the reason is because fertilizer is $1,000 a ton. The last time I fertilized hay 3 or 4 years ago.
Was that long ago?
It was $400 a ton. I normally wouldn't fertilize every year anyway, but this year it was due. So I'll see how the fall cutting goes. I can get by with 70 or 80 bells though. As long as I have 70 or 80, I'll get by. It's not a big deal. I usually have too much and I feed too much anyway, but I like to do that because I think our cows are a little bit spoiled and I like it like that.
They are.
So also, as far as what's going to happen here on the farm, we also need to move some goats coming up. So one thing that we're in control of is the time that our goats can become bred. Also our cattle, the time our cattle can be bred. And July 1st, I think is what I said. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to move our big billy goat away from the nannies so they don't get bred, so we don't have any babies in the very middle of winter. So that's kind of what's going to be coming up on Walker Farm. And both of those, one of them should be uneventful. The other one, who knows? You get it billied by the horns. You want to handle this one, or you want me to?
I'll shake the feed bucket.
Okay, I think he'll do okay. JFK is a pretty good goat. Hasn't gave us any problems. So
yeah, and Walker Farm Fam channel doesn't know this, but I'll tell y'all, our ducks are setting on eggs that should be fertile, and both of them were trying to set on them, so it's quite comical. So they might be hatching little ducklings, which is great because I don't want to hatch them because they're so dang messy.
yeah,
So
they're disgusting.
Every time I'm outside and I think about videoing that for Walker Farm Fam, it's 100 degrees and I don't.
It's like every other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so hot.
But it's kind of cool. Hopefully they hatch some, so they want to real bad.
If you give them enough time and the temperature's right,
well,
I don't know what else they need.
The only thing is if it gets too hot in there and if the eggs get nasty, I don't know.
Now, also on Walker Farm Fam, we need to, or we could do it on this channel, we need to take those turkeys off of their nest and take those eggs out before they...
Yeah, so the turkeys still think we can't get them convinced that they're not sitting on fertile eggs. I mean, they won't listen to me. So every so often I pull them off and we get rid of the eggs. But that hasn't been done in a while. And I don't know if you've ever been around eggs that's been out in the heat for a while. But like Gary said, they literally go off like a bomb with no, like you don't even know and it happens. And so it would be disgusting and they stink and it's real gross. So we need to get rid of those eggs before that happens.
Yeah, that's a smell that it's one of those things you can't unsmell it.
Yeah.
Like there's certain smells that happen in life, like baby powder whenever you got a baby, or like what's that? What's something that you remember a smell of? Is there anything?
Baby formula. I don't know.
Yeah, baby formula. Oh, when you have a baby calf on a bottle.
Yeah.
That bottle calf.
Which I think that formula smells good. It doesn't taste as good as it smells. I won't tell you how I know that.
How do you know that? That's disgusting.
Because I tried it.
Oh. Why would you?
Because it smelled good.
See,
I was like...
This is where Ranger gets it. Ranger likes to try the cattle feeds out in there, or any feed, right? Likes to lick the salt blocks. Wonder, I've never done that. I think you got it.
never lit salt blocks?
Not that I can recall. So.
Yeah, bad childhood.
Sheltered life. We put the salt to the cows and let them eat it. We didn't steal it from them. Yeah, that was bad. So, as far as catching up with walkers, we also like to spend some time remembering any prayer requests that we have and that you may have. So always continuously be praying for the situation with our foster children, our little angels, that whatever's happening with their future and where they may be going is going on continuously, and also just for them while they're here in our care as well.
Yes, and I have a friend whose dad got some test results back, and it wasn't good news. And so if you'll just be praying for them through this time, treatment, giving doctors wisdom, being with the family as they kind of take all this in, because it was pretty sudden. But if you'll just remember them and pray for them, then we'd appreciate it. Yeah,
so we thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your busy day to sit down and drink some good Alaskan coffee with us, or whatever you're drinking this morning. We hope you have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys.